Imagine entire cities built from millions standing utterly empty. Gleaming skyscrapers with no lights, shopping malls with no customers, highways with no cars. You've probably heard these are China's greatest failures. Monuments to miscalculation and corruption. But what if I told you they're not failures at all? What if these ghost cities were never meant to be lived in? And what if their true purpose is about to reshape the entire global economy by 2030? In the next 7 minutes, I'll show you why everything you think you know about these cities is strategic deception. Let's start with the story you've been told. Western media says these cities are colossal failures, built by corrupt local officials chasing construction contracts, the result of a real estate bubble that's about to burst catastrophically. Trillions in wasted investment that will never see returns. That's the accepted narrative, the comfortable explanation. But here's what nobody tells you. They're still building more. In a second, I'll show you how these empty cities generate 25 to 30% of China's GDP growth. But first, you need to understand the GDP machine. Here's the trick that changes everything. In China's economic model, construction itself is counted as economic output, regardless of whether anyone lives there, regardless of use. Every ton of steel, every bag of cement, every window installed, that's GDP growth. That's economic success by the numbers. Wait until you hear how this creates a perpetual motion machine. Local governments need growth targets. Beijing demands it. Building a ghost city delivers instant growth on paper. Stock markets rise. Officials get promotions. The system rewards construction, not habitation. But that's not the crazy part. This is where it gets disturbing. These empty buildings are collateral for something much bigger. China's local governments are drowning in $9 trillion of debt. $9 trillion. And these ghost cities, they're the collateral. Empty apartments have book value. They secure loans from state banks. This is what Evergrande was really about, not just a housing crisis. A revelation of the debt collateral system. When Evergrande collapsed, it exposed the ghost city debt game. But here's the twist nobody talks about. What if the empty buildings aren't meant for Chinese citizens today? What if they're meant for the 300 million people who need to relocate by 2050? In a second, I'll show you the internal migration plan China doesn't talk about publicly. But first, understand the scale of what's coming. The climate crisis isn't theoretical for China. It's planned for. And these cities, they're already built. Infrastructure waiting. Here's what the models show. By 2050, rising sea levels and desertification will make vast regions of China uninhabitable. Shanghai, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, coastal megacities housing hundreds of millions. 300 million people will need to relocate inland. That's the largest human migration in history. And where will they go? Cities that already have the infrastructure, roads, utilities, housing, schools, hospitals, already constructed, not abandoned, prepared. But wait until you hear what's already installed in these empty buildings. Because China hasn't just built cities, they built control grids, facial recognition, AI surveillance, smart city infrastructure in empty cities. Running, waiting. This is where it all connects, and here's where it gets even more unsettling. These ghost cities are the world's largest beta test for population management. Every streetlight has sensors, every intersection has cameras, every building entry point has digital access control. The infrastructure to track, monitor, and manage millions of people. Real-time location tracking, purchase monitoring, social network mapping. A digital twin of society where every citizen is a data point, and when 300 million people need to be relocated rapidly, the government will already know where everyone goes, what they need, how to control them. This isn't dystopian speculation, it's strategic planning at unprecedented scale. But here's the question that changes everything. Why does China let the West believe these cities are failures? In a second, I'll show you why strategic deception is more valuable than defending the truth. But first, understand the art of strategic ambiguity. Think about what happens when your adversaries misunderstand your strategy. They underestimate you. They relax. They make poor strategic decisions. While the West criticizes ghost cities as economic failures, China builds the infrastructure for the largest managed migration in human history. And when the climate crisis accelerates in the 2030 seconds and 2040 seconds, which nations will be prepared?
China's ghost cities were never failures. They're the most ambitious infrastructure pre-positioning in modern history. Built for a crisis the world hasn't accepted is coming, and when that crisis arrives, China's ghost cities will be the infrastructure that reshapes global power, already built, already waiting. If this revealed something you didn't know, hit that like button and subscribe to Claritlab X for more hidden truths behind the headlines. Drop a comment below. Do you think China's ghost cities are strategic genius or a risk that could still backfire?